Hi, welcome to Onyx Food Hill channel. Today we are going to be making a popular Calabar soup known as Calabar white soup or Afia efere. So these are my ingredients for making Afia efere. Here we have my cooked chicken. Then I have here my tuber of yam. I have here my crayfish, onions. Then I have here my black pepper. Then I have here my periwinkles. The periwinkles have already been cut and washed. Then here we have my Aiden fruit, also known as uyayak. Then I have here Ehura-ehu or traditional nutmeg. Then I have here my vegetables. This is called uziza, but you can choose to use fluted pumpkin or any other leaves like curry leaf. So since my yam is a very large yam, I'm going to divide it into two, then use half of it. The next thing I'll be doing is to peel this yam, cut it into medium shapes, then cook it till it's soft. Peel the yam, cut it into chunks, add water to slightly cover it, then cook it till soft, but do not add salt to it. So while the yam is cooking on heat, I'll be washing this uyayak, this Aiden fruit. I just pick one of it. I'm not going to be using all. I'll just use one. I'll cut it into two. This gives a nice flavor to this soup. Then meanwhile, I'm going to peel three of these. Then pound crayfish, onions. Then I'm going to be shredding these leaves. But before we move on, I forgot to tell you that you can add dried or smoked fish to your white soup. So I'm going to be adding this dried fish to it, but you can choose not to since you already have meat. So the yam is cooked by now. I'll just bring it down, drain the water out, then start the pounding. So to pound this yam, you can use a pounded yam machine or you can easily use a mortar. If you have a bigger mortar, you can pound this at once, but if you have a smaller one, you can just pound it in batches. So you keep pounding this until you have a very smooth paste without lump inside. So this particular one will be used for the thickening of the white soup. Then you pound the remaining just as pounded yam. You will be using it to eat with the soup. So when you're done pounding the yam, you bring the meat broth into an empty pot and bring to a boil. You can add more water to the pot if you feel the meat broth is small. Add your Aiden fruits, uyayak and onions, and let it boil. When the content starts to boil, you bring the cooked chicken and also add the periwinkles. Then cut the pounded yam you've pounded already and drop into the content. You should cut this in smaller chunks. So after you've cut the yam into the content, you leave this to boil. As it boils, the yam will be dissolving until it turns to a smooth consistency. So here is your pounded yam. You have to cover this and don't allow air to enter. If not, it will become hardened. So just cover it. You can cover this with a nylon. So just keep it warm. So as a thickener is dissolving, you add your dried fish, grounded nutmeg, seasoning cubes and crayfish. The seasoning cubes have been crushed together with the crayfish. Lastly, add your black pepper and gently stir while allowing the pounded yam to dissolve completely. You may also need to add a little salt. The vegetables are the last thing that will be added into this soup. Then you let it bubble without covering the lid. After 15 to 20 minutes, come back to your white soup. Stir and test for seasoning. Then still allow it to become thickened. As the yam is dissolving, the soup is becoming thickened. So you just leave it on heat to boil for about 20 minutes more. So when your white soup is rightly thickened, the last thing you'll be adding is the vegetables. After adding the vegetables, stir it all through. By this time the soup is really thick, so you don't really need it to become so thick because it will become even thicker the next day. And also the last thing I forgot to mention here was that this is the soup you prepare without adding palm oil. So this is the soup you prepare without adding palm oil to. Just leave it for 5 minutes for the vegetables to get cooked. So your Calabar white soup is cooked. You're going to be serving this with the yam you have pounded. So this is it. Your white soup is ready. Enjoy this with pounded yam. Thanks for watching this video, and remember to subscribe to Onyx Food Hill channel.